What's up YouTube? It's my Lord here. Today we're going to be going over two add-ons made by Mhafy. And sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but the two mods we're going to be using today are bubble text, which just adds pretty cool text above your head, like for example, just like this above your head. And you can type basically anything you want. You can type whatever text above your head. I mean, you can't type anything because obviously it's going to censor some stuff, but still pretty cool add-on that you can use with your friends so they can see text above your head if they don't see it in chat. The next add-on is his ship add-on that just, you can build whatever kind of ship you want. You can build an airship. You can even I build cars. I built tanks. I built even trains with this add-on, and I've used it a lot with my friends because sometimes we'll do cool like war servers. We've actually done like a battleship battle before, which would be pretty cool to record. But today I'm just gonna be showing off one part, which is the airship part, and we're just gonna be going over, quick guide on how to make this add-on work with an airship. Anyways, with that said, let's get straight into the video. So the first add-on that we were going to go over is obviously the simple, just text right over the head. I don't need to take too long. This is pretty self-explanatory. It just adds cool text that you can text over your head, like you see. I said, villager, or just really anything. You can actually send private, or there's another add-on that goes with this, or doesn't go with this. I just put it with it because it kind of works. Is you can send private messages to individual people. And that would help a lot too, because if you're individually trying to talk to somebody, if you're right next to them, instead of having to actually send it to everybody else, they are the only ones that see it above your head. So it's a pretty cool, simple add-on that just adds a little extra to the game. For this next add-on, we're going to be making a new airship, because the other one was kind of lame. And we're going to go ahead and test out some of these cannons that we have right here, show you how to make them, how to use them, and also how to make a helm and how to use that correctly on a ship. Now, let's go check out a few crafting recipes. I think first we'll start with the cannons, more stuff to do with that. So if you're going to go ahead and craft a cannon, the first thing you're going to need is a cannon barrel, which is going to cost you a lot of iron, a block of iron, and 2 iron ingots. The recipes for these are pretty simple. It's not going to require too much. Your swivel cannon is going to be a little more, being a block of iron instead of just another spruce plank. But some could say it's a little worth it because it does go in every direction while the other cannon just goes up and down and straight. So the hardest thing I think to craft on this mod, well actually it is the hardest thing to craft on this mod, is this cannon remote. You're actually going to need an echo shard, so you're going to have to kill a warden to get it. It's worth it though. It's completely worth it. It actually gives a little bit here to the warden and killing him. So first we're going to place down just the regular cannon. This is the easier one to make. You don't need another block of iron to make it. As you can see, it doesn't go right and left. I'll try to go right and left right here, and it just doesn't. The only thing it really does is go up and down. There's nothing else it does. Now for me, all I got to do is just hold down the same button when let's say you're riding a horse or anything else like that. When you jump on the horse, it's the same button for me. Go ahead and hold that down, and you'll shoot a cannonball out of there, and it'll give a nice explosion. Right over here, we can go ahead and check how much damage it does. So a pretty good amount. They're pretty strong too. When a cannon hits you, it's going to take more than half of your hearts away. If it hits you right on. If it doesn't hit you right on, maybe a little away. It'll only take a few away, but overall, it's a pretty good thing to use, especially in PvP or something. This right here is a swivel cannon. This one's a lot better, in my opinion, because it moves all around. You can go ahead and tap on it, and you can move it anywhere you want. We can go ahead and like pop one off. I don't even know where that's gonna go, but let's go ahead and just shoot one right here. Still about the same amount of damage. Now the cool thing about this cannon remote is going to be that it shoots both of these cannons if I use it on it. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and it shows a little remote. You'll see when I hold the remote, it's going to show a little remote over the cannon that you used it on. I'm going to use it on this one too. And I'm going to go ahead and click the remote, and So it's gonna shoot both of those cannons. The cool thing about that is if we try to make like a warship like this, let's say we're flying in the middle of a battle, I can put, 20 cannons deck to deck or something. I think I'm only gonna make one, but let's say I did put 20 cannons and I put these remotes on it, it's gonna fire all of them off at once. I also forgot to mention about the cannonballs. To make them real easy process, all you're gonna need is stone and a stone cutter. Just gonna kind of plop these in here and bang. I mean, that's how many cannonballs are made from it. So pretty easy process to make those. And we are back. We finally finished building the new airship. It came out pretty well. I know, guys, I'm not the greatest builder ever, but we're here to review add-ons, not to do the building kind of stuff. Anyway, I added 6 cannons over here on this side. I added 6 cannons on this side. You can put a block here and put this cannon here. It will extend outward. It doesn't matter any direction it goes. It's going to be fine. No swivels right now, though, and I'll show you why later once we head over there to a village to do a certain something. Anyways, here are some blocks that you can go ahead and put on here. You can put a furnace, you can put a blast furnace, you can put a smoker on here. Chest, barrels, crafting table. We've got a nice enchanting table. We've got some books, bookshelves, my bad. Upgraded gear, anvil, and another barrel. It's kind of cool how you can add all these items on here, but one of the coolest parts is you can actually add onto this a bed. And when you sleep in this bed, if I were to take off and let's say go right over there on the mountains, you can reset, it will automatically reset your spawn point over there to where you just placed the ship. So for the next part here, we're going to go ahead and put this helm down. See, as we can see here, it's going to go 1024. I don't know how much this ship really is, so I think I'm just going to put it to be safe at 2,000. This is just how many blocks the ship can scan and use. So scan 851. I'm hoping when I do take off that these blocks are connected, because if not, they're just going to come right off, and we're going to have to fix that. So here are a few settings for the ship. We just show the integrity. If you ever get in a fight with somebody else, let's say they're shooting cannons at you, or even just shooting in the first place, it's just going to take down the integrity until this helm breaks, and the ship will no longer be a thing. Kind of cool part to it. Let's say you're having a naval battle, so you'll just sink. So it just tells you what direction we're facing, how many blocks are on the ship, if the ship is locked, and how big the ship is in your game, how much space it's going to take up. So as you can see, there's a few settings here. This just is going to take you back to how many blocks you can use if the thing is locked. This setting is just going to scan it again. If we want to create a key for the ship, this just makes a key that we use to get into the ship so nobody else can actually take over your ship. You're the only one that can get in. As you can see, you just click it right here. The next part is going to be creating a compass. Not too hard of a thing to make. I say it's worth it because I have lost my ship before when I am playing in one of these add-on kind of packs that I make. As you can tell, if we go all the way over here, it's going to go ahead and just take us right back to the ship. So pretty cool part to it. I think he realized that a lot of people were losing where their ships were, so he decided to make that. And then this is just a valid block list telling what you can use on ships. The reason that it's not as much detail, I can't use, all the blocks that you see. I can only use a certain amount of blocks. It's not like it's limited. You can use a lot, but I just choose to use this because it's easier than having to go through every single one of those blocks to use on your ship. Whatever ship you choose to build, you can use whatever blocks you'd like. So before we decide to take off and go on our little adventure over there to that village, what happens actually right now is if you go ahead and click compile, it's just going to make this into a ship, but the ship will not go in the air because we don't have a controller yet to go into the air. So we'll just kind of go on the ground, sort of more like a car. So the first thing you're going to want to put in is function world settings. Just like that. Press enter. It's going to come up with this. Now in these settings, there's even more settings that are part of this. You can go ahead and change the minimum blocks that you need to build a ship, the maximum blocks you can build a ship with, and what speed it is on the water and speed on land. It actually doesn't apply to the air, but you do go pretty quick in the air. So if you're going to want to get the controller to go ahead and fly in the air with your ship, you're just going to go ahead and click this, submit, and confirm an update for all ships. So now if we click out of this, we're going to go over here. We're going to press compile. Take a second just because this ship is a little bigger. There we go. So now we got a ship. And we're just going to go ahead and go back to the configure settings. Switch our camera view. There is a custom camera with all of these ships that you can use. I'm going to use the biggest just because this ship is pretty massive, as you can tell. Or honestly, I might change it a little lower than that. Maybe a little too high. Let's go ahead and make it like 20. Yeah, I like that a little better. And we're going to go ahead and press get controller. This is going to put a little controller in your inventory. Now what you're going to do to take off into the sky is you're going to look up. See, this is the one problem with the custom camera. If you don't want to use this, you can turn it off in your world, but the custom camera makes it to where you can x-ray through the ground. So that is the one bad part of the camera. Now if we want to go up, all we're going to do is look up. I'm going to right click, and there we go. Now we're ascending into the air. The more that you click it, the faster you're going to ascend. We don't want to go up too quick. We kind of want to stay at a pretty good distance. Okay. Now we're just going to go ahead and take this ship, and we can move it through the air. There we go. We're going to move it right over to this village. I'm going to go down a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and aim the cannons right at the village and show you what kind of firepower this type of warship can have. Here we go. Let's just land this bad boy right here. Get her a little lower. And to stop from descending, click it once and it will stop right here. Now all we're going to do is just hop right off of this. And with this add-on, I will say, you know, it's not perfect. There are a few errors like that right there. As you saw, some of the cannons did come off. Most of the time though, they're going to stay on. It's just that I do have a lot on. This is a pretty big ship. And we're going to go ahead and aim these cannons down at this village. I think we can hit her in the first shot though. But let's say you're coming up on somebody's base. You decide, yo, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up on them, shoot them with all these cannons and knock them out. I think that would be an amazing idea. That's where this mod can come in a lot of handy. And this is another good thing about the controller. Let's say you want to go into the village, you want to check it out, or you want to check out your friend's base. You just decide, alright, let's hit the controller. Let's go ahead and take out your stuff. There it goes right there. I mean, it literally takes out the whole house. That part of it is just so cool. The way you can see the explosion, the cannonballs, the way they come down. Pretty sweet. But I mean, we could literally just rain terror up here. I mean, and they're not going to know what hit them. I mean, you could even make like a bomber plane. I've done that before. There's a lot of cool things that you can make with this add-on. And this is just one example. So, just to show you how it works, we're going to go ahead and click it again. Compile. And there we go. We got our ship back. We could just move it to another part of the village and do the same thing. Thank y'all for watching. That's going to be the end of this add-on review. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what other add-ons you guys would like for me to review. Thanks.